It is only when we truly know and understand we have limited time on earth, and we have no way of knowing when our time is up, that we will begin to live each day to the fullest, as if it were the only one we have. "20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things that you didn't do than by the ones you did do. So throw off the bow lines, sail away from the safe harbor, catch the trade winds in your sails, explore, dream, discover. The purpose of life, after all, is to live it, to taste experience to the utmost, to reach out eagerly and without fear for a newer and richer experience. To those who stay put, the world is but an imaginary place. But to the movers, the makers, and the shakers, the world is all around, an endless invitation. So the only question left to ask yourself is, where should you go now?"
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Yup Daily. My name is Gina, and I am so happy to be with you today, and just so happy to pour into you and just share some of my knowledge and what I do and how I've grown. So today, it's all about the secret of success, right? We always ask people, what is the secret? How did you become so successful? How did you do it? Did you ever really truly go through hard times? Did you ever truly stumble? Did you ever truly fall? And the answer is always going to be yes. And that's what I want you to focus on, is that nobody just has a smooth ride. Everybody has those moments that are hard. They all have the hard moments. But what we can gather from other people are the moments and what they did to get through those speed bumps, to get through those hard times, to get through the moments where they just felt like giving up. So I want to give you 10 tips on how to be successful in business, in your own business. Now, you can take these 10 tips and you can apply it to so many different areas of your life. So put it where you need to today. But I really, really want to challenge you to get something out of this. You have to listen and you have to put it into practice. So should we get started? All right. So as I'm getting started, if you want to put in where you're from, I love to know where everybody's from, because it's just such an amazing thing to make friends all around the world and see where people are. And that's a great way to connect. So good morning to you all. So 10 tips how to be that successful entrepreneur that you are craving, that you want. So the first one is you have to trust and believe in yourself. And this one can be so hard. And sometimes we can't even get to the other 9 tips because this one holds us up the most. If you can't trust in yourself, if you can't believe who you are and the good that you have inside of you and what your potential is, this can hold you back from so much. This can actually stunt your growth. You have to trust that you know what you're doing, not 100%, but you're going to get there by learning. Trust yourself that you have the potential and believe that you have the good to change so many people's lives, including yourself. And then you need to trust and believe that you can be your own boss. You can do it. Now, there's a lot of people here that could be listening or watching the replay that, maybe you're in corporate and this is a side hustle, or maybe you want a side hustle, or maybe you want that side hustle to become your full-time job and your full-time income. And what you need to do is you need to trust, you need to believe and understand that you can become your own boss. You can actually do this. Will it happen overnight? No. You have to put in a lot of work. You have to put in a lot of practice, and you have to put in that belief in yourself. And that is something that you have to go through every single day. There are moments where I don't believe in myself. I message my mentor and go, is this ever going to happen? Am I ever going to make it? Or I just don't trust myself. Should I do this? Shouldn't I do this? And the answer is, if you're in your gut, you're feeling that just do it moment, that motion, that movement, you need to trust yourself. Okay. You've trusted yourself how many years? Like, think about your age. How many years have you trusted yourself? And you've wound up okay. So you need to trust yourself and pour in that belief. And a way to do that every day is to surround yourself by the positivity, get rid of the toxicity, and you should be doing your personal development. That's going to make you dream, that's going to make you educated, and that's going to make you soar. So that's the first one. Number 2, know what your passion is. So I am an Italian, and I'm just going to say it. I'm a passionate person about like anything and everything. Okay. So find out what your passion is. Find out who your passion is. Find out what change you want to do and how you can do this and how you can make this happen. So for me, I am a single mom. So my heart so quickly goes out to those single moms. My heart so quickly wants to go from, hey, I've been in your shoes and look where I am now and look where I'm going and I can help you. Okay? So find out, who are you passionate about? Who is that person you connect with? Who is that person you're like, you are my avatar. I can help you. I can see you through this. And then you need to go find them. And they're really probably not hard to find. But the way that you find your passion is to do a self-inventory. Who are you? What makes you excited? What lights you up inside? What topic could you talk about for hours? And whatever you're in right now, whatever business, how can you help people? And if you're not passionate about your business, you're not passionate about what you're doing, you need to figure out if this is where your passion is or if you need to move on. You need to be passionate. That's how you find success. People need to look at you and they need to be like, wow, that is written all over their face. That is, it's just, coming out of that person, the passion, the excitement. So find your passion. It doesn't matter who it is. For people in their 20s, it might be, just getting out of college. Those people, you might be like, they just got out of college. They've got all this debt. Let me help them. Or, it could be the other end and you're a grandparent and you're ready for retirement, but you're stuck because you can't retire because of taxes, or not taxes, for bills. So you start to think about what your passion is and how can you help them. We're all at different levels and different journeys. So just do that inventory and find out what makes your heart just burst. Who do you want to help? Who do you want to change the life of? And you need to exclude yourself, because you're going to change your life no matter what, but you need to pour into somebody else. Whose life can you be a part of to help change and take that weight off of their shoulders? That's finding your passion. All right, number 3, this is a big one. Get organized. Put in the comments if you are someone who struggles with organization. Now, I love organization. I love, notebooks, and like I go into a stationery aisle. Like if I go into Target and I see the pens and the Post-it notes, like I get excited. Like it's Christmas for me. Okay. I love organization. Now I have, someone telling me you've got to go digital. You need to go digital. Okay. Because I am the old school where I like to have my planner and my highlighters. It doesn't really matter as long as you get organized. The worst thing that you can do is in the morning have things all over the place and you're like, well, I'm not really sure where to start. I'm not really sure where to go. I'm not really sure what to do. And then you start cleaning again and you start putting things in piles. But you're doing this every day, so you're really not getting past cleaning and putting in piles. You're just staying in the moment, and then you're like, why am I not growing? Why am I not doing anything? Now, I am a huge, huge fan of time blocking. I'm a huge fan of a power list. I am a huge fan of making sure I get it done. I will do tally marks. Like I'm okay with that, because when I put my head down at night and I close my eyes, I want to be able to say, I got a lot done today, instead of what did I do today? I was busy all day. But there's a difference. You're busy getting work done, or you're busy being busy. So you need to figure that out. So getting organized. Now you can find tons of information online about how to get organized, or how to time block or color block or whatever. But I want to caution you not to spend too much time researching. If you spend too much time researching, you're going to get stuck in the pit of the research, and then you will not be able to you will not be able to move past that. Okay. All right. Number 4, figure out if your business, is it a business or is it a hobby? Okay. Is it a business or is it a hobby? If you're treating your business like it's a hobby and you're not growing, that's because you're treating it as a hobby. So whatever you're doing, whatever you are putting 100% into, put 100% into. If you're 99%, you might as well just get out, right? You need to put 100% if it's going to be your business. Now, if it's a hobby, that's absolutely fine. And you're at peace about that and you're happy about that and you're like, I just want to make a few extra, a little extra, that's okay. So just make sure you indicate what you're doing. Is it a business? So if it's a business, I'm putting in the time, I'm putting in the effort. I've got my vision board, I've got my vision, I've got my goals, what I want to hit and where I see myself going. And if it's a hobby, well, what do you want to make a month? What does a hobby pay? So you need to figure out which one it is. But if you're acting as if it's a hobby, but you want it as a business, then you need to reevaluate. You need to see things a little differently. All right. Number 5, position yourself as a leader. Now, you may have a team of 5,000, you may have a team of 5, or even one person on your team. It does not matter. You need to position yourself as a leader. So what does that actually look like? Well, it means educating yourself. So when you talk to one person or 5,000 people, you're educated, and those people already see you as a leader. They see you as someone above. They see you as someone they look up to. They see you as someone that they can learn from. They see you as a mentor. If you're not going to events, if you're not going to meetings, if you're not getting active, if you're getting on meetings, but sometimes you don't, there's always a time when you can't put your camera on. But if for the majority, you're just not putting your camera on, what is that showing the other people on your team? If you're not going to events, what is that showing the other people on your team? If you're not going to meetings, what is that showing the other people on your team? If you're not enrolling, what is that showing? If you turn it around and ask yourself those questions, you're going to realize that your team is going to do exactly what you're doing. Your energy is going to reflect in your team. If you have positive energy, you're going to have a positive team that's excited. If you are a negative, pessimistic person, that's what your team is going to reflect, because they're watching you. They're seeing what you do. They're seeing how you act. They're seeing what you come up with. They're seeing how you show up. If you're showing up every day, if you're encouraging, if you're teaching, if you're taking the time, that's being a leader. If you're giving yourself personal development so that you can share with them, guess what they're going to do? They're going to duplicate exactly what you're doing. And that's so important. So what you show up as, you can see your team showing up as. Now, there's always going to be moments and seasons where it's bad and it's hard and life gets hard and you may not show up at your best. Those are exceptions to that rule. But for the majority of your time, you need to show up as your best self, because that's going to trickle down into your team. Show up as your best self. All right. Number 6, remember, this is a process. This is for the long game. There's so many get rich quick schemes out there. And yeah, it's great. Oh, I made $5,000 today. Or you can make $10,000 in 24 hours. Yeah, that's great. But show me the long game, because honestly, that's what I'm in it for. The legacy. What's it going to do for myself and my daughter? What's it going to do for my family? What's it going to do for the people that I'm passionate about? That's the long game. So when you're feeling stuck, when you feel like it's just not moving as quick as I thought it would move, or it's just not doing what I thought it would do, there's 2 options. And unfortunately, some people take this option. They quit because they're like, you know what? It didn't do what I thought. So now I'm going to go on to the next beautiful thing that comes across my path. And then they go through the same thing. Well, it didn't, I did really good in the beginning and now it's not doing anything. And now I'm going to quit that and go to the next thing. And then your audience, the people who are following you are like, well, what is this person doing now? What are they doing now? What? Ugh, they just bounce from one thing to the next. But if you remember that it's a process, it's not something that's just going to happen overnight. You're not going to go to sleep one night and sign up and wake up and be a diamond. I mean, we all want that, but it's a process. It takes discipline. It takes showing up. And you want to remember, what's the long game? What is this? Is this going to be around for me in 5, 10, 15, and 20 years? And what's that going to look like? So we have to remember that. So along with that, number 7 is don't compare. I love the saying, you can't compare your start to someone else's middle. You can't. Yeah, we all want to be at the top. We all want to be at an income where you don't even have to think anymore. You don't even have to, it's crazy. That's what you want. That's what we all want. We want to be able to do and have things and have that true laptop lifestyle, freedom where I can just bring my phone and there, I'm good. But unfortunately, it doesn't just happen that way. So we can't compare. We can't compare where someone comes into a company and just boom, goes through the ranks. You don't know what their past was like. You don't know what their journey was like. You don't know how many times they failed or how many times they fell down or how many times they stumbled. And then, some people will say, I have a 13-year overnight success story. Okay? Because it took me 13 years to get to where I am, but you think it's overnight. So let me really truly explain this. So before you go and judge a situation or judge a person, find out their backstory. And then instead of being like the congratulate them and say, hey, can I learn from you? What did you do? What can I do differently? How can I change this for me? What am I doing wrong? There's something that I'm not doing and I need to figure this out. Can I take a little bit of your time? And 9 times out of 10, that person's going to say, absolutely, schedule with me. All right, so don't compare. Number 8, procrastination is a no-go. No procrastinating. Okay, so I am not a procrastinator. I will take that back. I am a procrastinator in some things. Some things I am not. Some things I am so punctual and so on time and so on top of. But then there are things, unfortunately, that I do procrastinate in, okay? But when you're looking at your business, when you're really doing that serious thinking about your business, you can't procrastinate. Okay, I'm going to get up. I'm going to go do this. I'll do my follow-ups later. I'll do my reach outs later. I'm going to do my personal development later. I'm going to do my research later. I'm going to do my marketing later, because what happens later never comes. Or what happens if there's a family emergency? Well, now you just lost your later. Or what happens if, your friend stops by, you just lost your later. So don't procrastinate. Get it done. I love to work from a power list where I put about 5 items on it and I knock them out. That's what I want to do, because when I knock those out, I can either work on my long list of, my laundry list, or I can be done for the day because I just got all the stuff done that I needed to get done. And sometimes my power list takes me 2 hours. Sometimes it takes me 10. It depends on what you're doing. So I want you to remember, procrastination is not going to get you as a top leader as quickly as you want to. So when you're like, oh, I don't feel like doing this, I'll just do it later. I'm going to go watch some Instagram reels or some TikTok, or I'm going to make my own TikTok or reel, or I'm just going to cruise social media. Well, you doing that, yes, it's fun. It's entertaining, but that's going to hold you back from your goals. That's going to hold you back from where you want to be. All right. Number 9, do one thing at a time. So if you are not organized, you will have so many different piles and your hands will be going in so many different, avenues. You might be going, oh, I'm going to send messages. I'm going to follow up. I'm going to friend request. I'm going to do my marketing. Oh, I got to do a reel. And you're jumping around and it's just like your brain is just scattered. Like you can't calm down your brain. You can't relax. You cannot get things done because you can't focus. So I have a rule of thumb. When I'm working on one thing, I work on one thing and I shut everything else out. If I'm like really focused, I'll even turn volumes and notifications off so that I'm just super focused and that nothing can sidetrack me, because I can get sidetracked very easily. I could be writing something or doing something. I'm like, oh, I'm so hungry. Or, oh my goodness, I wonder what shoes I should go look for. Or is there a purse I like? Or, like you get so distracted. It's like squirrel, like by the tiniest little things, right? We get distracted, so if you do one thing at a time and you stay really focused on that one thing and you give yourself a time limit, I'm going to do this for this amount of time. I can do things for about 45, 50 minutes. And I'm like, all right, I got to move. I got to walk around. I've got to figure something out. I just have to clear my head a little bit. That's really important. I cannot sit there and say for the next 3 hours, I'm going to do this. Well, for those 3 hours, if I do that, I'm getting burnt out. I'm losing my focus. But if I do it in smaller chunks of time, I'm really, really fierce in that time. But it's when you extend it for too long, you realize it was too long. I lost my focus and I basically have to start over again. So try to do one thing at a time. If you're sending out messages and you hear those dings coming in, that you're getting messages coming back, ignore them. It is not your reply time. It is just your time to do one thing. One thing. That's it. All right. And the last thing, number 10, in order to be successful in your business as an entrepreneur, as anything, you need to learn to ask for help. Oh my goodness, I'm preaching to myself right now because I am the worst at asking for help. I'd rather sit and suffer than ask for help. It's so bad. I always feel like, well, I'm going to be a burden to someone if I ask for help. I don't want to put my issues on somebody else. I don't want to bother them. I don't want to. You have to get past that. You have to be okay with asking for some help. You have to put your pride to the side. And you have to say, I'm going to humble myself right now. And I'm going to say, I don't get this. I don't understand it. This isn't working for me, but I see something's working for you. How can you help me? Or I need to send out these messages, but I feel like this isn't catchy enough, or this isn't going to get their attention. Can you look at this? Can you show me? Or, hey, my mindset is just really bad right now. And I think I look at myself and I go, I don't like this. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. Can you help me with my mindset? Can you give me some personal development? Can you give me some suggestions? Can you give me some books to read? Can you give me some podcasts to listen to? Or maybe there's a good Les Brown video that you need to just be like, I'm hungry, for something good. You need to reach out. And that's why having a mentor is so important. Having a mentor, having someone, an accountability partner, someone that's going to not be afraid to step on your toes, but someone who is comfortable enough and kind enough and sensitive enough to be able to help you when you go and ask for help. Now, this is a twofold thing. Sometimes there's those people that ask for help and you're like helpless. All right. Now, there's a little tough love, but I love you. But guys, there's certain things like Google it, go look for it. If you have looked for it, if you've tried and you're like, I still can't find the answer, I still don't know what to do, then it's like, let me ask for help. But if you're just like, I can't remember what day of the week it is, can you help me? Look at your calendar. Okay. Or I can't remember my login. Well, send support a ticket. Okay. Or what day is this on? Go look at the schedule. But when you really need help, I need to do a 3-way. I need to get a message sent out. I need to follow up with somebody, but I just don't know what to say. I just don't know what to do. That's when you need to ask for help. So these were 10 different ways that you can implement today, right now, into your schedule, into your daily routines that's going to make you more successful. Now, just because you do this today does not mean, oh, you are rising tomorrow. It means you have to be consistent. When you implement something new into your life, you're not always going to see the changes right away. It's not like instant gratification or instant, like satisfaction. You've got to be consistent day in and day out. You have to show up. So ask yourself, are you showing up? Or are you just someone who, I drop in and then I complain that my business isn't growing? I'm going to drop in some more and then I'm going to complain that my business isn't growing. Or are you all in? So ask yourself that today. Who am I? What am I passionate about? Who am I passionate about? Now, I figured that out. I got to get organized. I got to be consistent. I got to keep my blinders on away from the toxicity because there's some toxicity all over, but you don't have time for that. Stay in the positive. Love yourself, love others, show up as a leader, and ask for help. There's so many key things that will help you. And if you talk to any top leader, they're going to say the same stuff. And if you see a top leader, take note. Are they on every call? Are they showing up to events? Are they learning? What's their stature like? What's their attitude like? And then find that and duplicate it. And for everyone, it's going to be different. Everybody's journey is different. Everybody's adventure is different. And everybody's start and middle are different. So don't compare yourself. Look at yourself in the mirror and say, I am bomb.com. I am amazing. I can do this because I'm going to bless so many other people. I'm going to change some lives. It starts with you. So with that being said, you guys, I hope that you have the most amazing Wednesday. Thank you so much for tuning into the Up Daily. Until we see each other again, have a wonderful day.